biopharma, pharmaceuticals, medical devices, and aerospace. And we know that here in Central Florida, you have a great cluster of aerospace. We're just talking to Commissioner Maribel Cordero. We would be delighted to make sure that we have those great companies also explore opportunities in Puerto Rico. And our secretary is very committed to making sure are very agile. I know the lady here was saying that obviously in Puerto Rico, we know to invest can be challenging, right? But it can be also in other markets, like Orlando, for example. So I know it's good to be critical of ourselves as our secretary, the administration are doing, but also we have to see models, right? What can we do better? And that's our commitment, that's our secretary's commitment. We do have very attractive incentives in Puerto Rico. Our secretary is very committed to making sure we, the people, understand the benefits that are available not only for those that have companies, but those who want to also explore venturing their own companies. And great opportunities to attract talent, but also to retain talent in the island, right? Our secretary is very young, is actually the youngest secretary, just 33 years old in all of the administration of Puerto Rico. And he understands firsthand the importance of retaining talent in Puerto Rico and attracting, right? Because it goes both ways. And we want to make sure that if you have this, if you have an idea, Puerto Rico is, right? And we have wonderful incentives. And I invite you, we gratefully exchange contacts. We invite you to visit our website, desarrollo.pr.gov. And there you have all the information you need to explore incentives. And we have the Department of Commerce. We actually have the tourism company within our entity. We have a program for promoting energy public policy. We have a program for promoting workforce development. So we're a very diverse entity, and our secretary, let me say, he works 24/7. He's super approachable, and I know working together with representatives and everybody in Puerto Rico, we appreciate the partners here, the local, state, and federal level that I know work very closely with the administration of Puerto Rico. And last but not least, we do recognize, right, that energy, potentially housing, are challenges in Puerto Rico, right? But when we look at the other side of the coin, right, there's always two sides, and we're looking at opportunities. And currently, unfortunately, it's money yet, but gratefully speaking, we do have a unique opportunity to invest in infrastructure. We have about $120 billion in federal funding that is being invested in critical infrastructure and housing in Puerto Rico. So we know particularly the metro area, it has a lot of concentration of economic activity, but we're wanting to invest further in the metro area. Recently, there's been major investments in particularly the south area of Puerto Rico, Ponce area, in what is tourism, representatives talking about. So we do understand that they may be some challenges, and we are here to help, right? We're here to navigate, and we want to retain the companies that we have, help them explore, expand within Puerto Rico, also explore markets within beyond of the island. So again, in the name on behalf of our secretary, in charge, the administration of our governor, Felipe Gonzalez, we're very grateful, and definitely we invite you. Hopefully, we have an exchange and summit, and we invite you to visit Puerto Rico. What we need, we're here to do business with you. Thank you very much.
Please. The SBA, led by Ramos, he has lenders that are with us today, three lenders. They're going to be making a short presentation to those who are interested to know how to finance, where to finance, how to go to finance your business. Should you decide to open up a business, or you're thinking about opening up a business, where to open a business. So either way, it's good information, it's free. You people are taking time away from this schedule. So we're going to ask you to, you want to do it now, Jose, can you come with your representative, if you don't mind? And we'll have a short presentation. And I want to say that I'm glad that the Jose Rivera came from Puerto Rico to be with us today. He's going to be really our contact. But you know, the secretary got on his mind, a lot of responsibilities. No, I'm talking about Puerto Rico. She's our contact. She's very, very, very. Rafa's doing a good job here. I mean, you know, like everything else, it's not easy. Not always. You don't always accomplish your goal. You try. That's it. We're very happy with this relationship. Thank you. You've chosen and supported a good person. Mr. Chair, is there come over here? Or you want to come over there? You don't have a microphone over. Oh, you're very, but you listen. The chair's ahead. So, we're improvising and we apologize for that, but we ask for your patience. We do have Gary Daniels with us today, Senator Scott. But, Gary, you want to say anything? I mean, folks, at the end of the day, he can say, it's got to be a Republican. Remember, we got to work with both sides of the aisle. He's a representative on the Republican side, representing the senator, and that's very important for our community. Okay, and of course, we do have Democrats as well. This is important. He's a long time. I mean,
Sí, más temprano creo que alguien estaba hablando de los primeros puertorriqueños que llegaron aquí a Orlando. Yo creo que yo fui el segundo. Yo llegué aquí cuando Orlando va a existir. Dirijo a la oficina de asuntos multiculturales para todo el mundo. Tenemos oficinas en Orlando, pero tenemos 9 oficinas en todo el estado. Y quiero pedirles el corto mensaje que pido al senador para que dice así: es un honor para mí como senador dirigirme a ustedes, nuestros hermanos y hermanas puertorriqueños. Puerto Rico y su gente ocupan un lugar muy especial en mi corazón, en el corazón de todos los floridanos. Como su senador, he tenido el privilegio de visitar la isla. Yo creo que el senador de Puerto Rico más que yo. Y en cada visita he firmado mi compromiso con ustedes y admiración por su fortaleza, su cultura y su espíritu. Reconozco las contribuciones invaluables de la comunidad puertorriqueña ha hecho a la cultura, economía y vitalidad de nuestra gran nación. Estoy comprometido a seguir trabajando con un futuro donde todos los puertorriqueños puedan abrazar plenamente el sueño americano. Uno de libertad, de oportunidades y prosperidad. Gracias por su dedicación, su resiliencia y su amor por esta tierra. Que Dios los bendiga a todos, con aprecio al Señor. Dios los bendiga a todos.
thank you, Gary. Thank you for your work. Thank you for the constituents of the state of Florida. Okay, now, before I go further, can I ask? Is that it? All right. That's my family. That's my son, my daughter. We've got 2 seniors from Miami, the senior program with us. And we have also a whole first lady who works with that NBC, and that's her. Thank you. God bless you. Honey, are you anything nice to me now? After 45 years, imagine that. Married 6 years. I don't know how many years. It's like a little count. So, but you know, you can't do anything without a family. That's the message. Family, network, relationships. Those are the keys, those are the foundations, the pillars of success for those who move forward. Because if the family's against you, you'll never move forward. So anyway, having said that, I'm a gentleman and I want to present, I think this is good information, it is free. And this information, my good friend Ed Ramos and I, we have what's called healthy put together a collaboration between SBA and the Puerto Rican for 2 years. And we're doing webinars, it's free, throughout the whole state. We get people from Puerto Rico, we get people from, Hernan Gonzalez with us, he's also a member of that team. Thank you, Hernan, for your success and your contribution. And Dr. Collado, we also got Collado. Thank you for what you do for us as well. Okay? That's it. You guys know what the whole day is. So Ed has been with us for 1 year, going on 2, and what we do is essentially in the webinar, free, is how to do business. The last one was, are you lender ready? If you're lender ready, and it's free, we're going to move to the next one, September. That was the thing. Thank you.
So good afternoon, folks. So my notes are upstairs, so I'm gonna go with. So in collaboration with the Puerto Rican Summit, SBA put together the Are You Lender Ready training, which is an initiative that we have with the agency to help individuals that are maybe looking for funding in the future, whether they start a business or have a business in their mind. Before I forget, we do have the president of all the states and territories. We have an SBA, Puerto Rican. We have partners, the Small Business Development Center, SCORE, and the Women Business Center, and the to provide some training, counseling, special programs that can benefit everyone in the room. So before I introduce the panelists, so SBA is a federal agency. We have been around since 4 major areas that impact you directly. So we have an area where we provide business education and training, and we have partners in the local community that I just mentioned, Small Business Development Center, SCORE, Women Business Centers, and the Veterans Business Outreach. And we have another area where we do access to capital, which is the topic today. And access to capital, it could be in 2 different ways. One, we offer government guaranteed loans to lenders that participate. And some of the lenders that are sitting in here today, that's what they do. They offer a loan guarantee if you decide that you want to go through an SBA program, or they may be able to do a conventional through one of their programs. Then we do direct lending when there's a disaster, because it allows us to lend you the money that you need to recover your business or your personal property, your residence, to the conditions that was before the disaster. Not to build a new level, not to go on vacation, not to buy a Tesla, not to buy spend a luxury items, but to rebuild your business. Then we have an area that deals with procurement and certification. And all of you are members of the minority group, Puerto Ricans, women, veterans, and there are other groups that can take advantage of the certification process, because we have 4 certifications that we manage within the SBA that can help you. And the federal government has a huge appetite. We buy a lot of stuff every year, even though this year we're looking at redoing the way that we do the purchases at the all the restructuring we're doing under the new administration. We love manufacturers. If there's any manufacturers in the room, we are getting ready. If Congress and the President sign an expansion of the 70 program, so we can go up to $10 million for manufacturers, so you can build more widgets and export those widgets and sell them among yourself. Because at the end of the day, what we want to do is we want to create jobs in the U.S. We don't want to be dependent on other nations to be what we used to be 30 to 40 years ago, and that's the whole push of the administration. So the SBA is doing that. The SBA also has a new platform for onshoring products, suppliers, and products, so that you, if you are a small business and you depend on the product that you bring from China or from some other country, perhaps there may be manufacturers in the U.S. that can become your suppliers, and then helping each other with promoting American-made goods and services, which at the end of the day help us be all that we can be. So the area dealing with onshoring manufacturing is the Office of International Trade and Manufacturing. We also have an office that deals with certification, as I mentioned. And then finally, this, but the topic today is, are you lender ready? Access to capital. So, in conjunction with the chamber, and the Dynamic CDC, Puerto Rican Chamber of Florida, and the SBA, they sponsored us, and we did a workshop, a webinar, where we explained pretty much the basic concepts that anyone that wants to go to a lender needs to have control over, so that when you go to the lender, you can have a successful relationship leading to a successful transaction, meaning that you get a loan. So the second part of that is the lender panel that we have here today, where they ask questions, they respond to your questions, if you have any specific questions, otherwise they talk about products and how they help you. And then, to be coordinated with Luis, then we do the session where you pitch your idea to a lender so you can get the money that you're looking for. So, to my left, to your right, first person sitting here is Aleida Palacio. She represents Lendreams, and I'm going to let her introduce herself in just a minute. Next to her is Steve Ballmer from Commerce Bank and Trust, and to his left, the extreme right, is Phil Seaman from South State Bank, and they are lenders. They offer both SBA products and or conventional products. And I want to let Aleida come to the microphone and talk about her product as a microlender. So, if you're from Puerto Rico, you probably heard of an entity called COFEC, which now goes by the pseudo name of Lendreams. Here's Aleida.
And so on. Well, we started our headquarters on Puerto Rico, Copec. They are DBA Lendream. They've been like 40 years on Avenida Chardon. I don't know if some of you have heard about Copec. So, Copec started 40 years ago. They have various different programs, microlending, 504. They give up to 5 million. So if somebody over there is from Puerto Rico right now and needs help, needs loans, you can go over there on Avenida Chardon. We are also on Virgin Islands, and we are excited. We're opening here. We have like 2 or 3 months right now. We are receiving applications and already approval. So we are starting and going to different events, helping small business to give loans, micro lending. We only give micro lending here in Florida on Orange, Seminole Lake, and Osceola County for now, until approved later on if it's approved. So it's from 500 to 50,000. You can be an established company, or you can be a new business. You don't have to have like 6 months of business. You can be next month to start, but you need to bring your business in. You need to bring your like 3 years of financial expectations, and be ready to open. You need to have your licenses and all to open your company. We are here to help. We give on the microphone, we give technical assistance, and we are on Magnolia Avenue on downtown. I have some slides. If later somebody needs help or questions, because each company is different, and it's very important that there's a connection. So any questions, I'm going to be having business cards, and later on, if somebody needs some help.
So now we go to the podium. Steve from Commerce.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Just a quick show of hands. How many small business owners do we have in the room today? Well, thank you for everything you do, because without you all driving up we wouldn't be here today. My name is Steve Fulmer. I'm the head of the lending over at Commerce Bank and Trust. You probably never heard of us. We have one branch location in Winter Park. We're a very small community. But in our smallness, we have personalized service, and a lot of knowledge and a lot of expertise. We've been around for 24 years. We're small on purpose. Because if you are everything to everyone, you end up being nothing. So I head up all the lending. I specialize over in SBA, commercial and small business loans myself. And so it's a pleasure to be here today. I look forward to interacting with you all, hearing your questions, and hopefully giving you all some insight. Better prepared when you come to visit any of us for the opportunity that we can give you a loan to grow your business, start a business, or acquire a business. So thank you.
So come up to the podium, Bill Seaman with,
Thank you, appreciate it. Good afternoon, everybody. Very happy to be here, be in this room with y'all. My name is Bill Zeman. I'm the Community Development Officer for South State of Florida. I've been a commercial banker partially in my career, but the last 3 years I've been in community development. And community development involves two areas. One, working with disadvantaged individuals and communities, and the other, economic development. The reason why I'm here today is we have a strong emphasis to create economic development. And how we do that is work with organizations like the SBA or SBDC to help those organizations have resources and tools and programs to deliver to small businesses. And we also fund a lot of those small businesses well for our lending side. We do microloans as well. So we interact with this group often through our SBA group, and then we just developed a small business division. But the one point I would like to make to you all today is you could not be, for you small business owners, small businesses now or getting ready to be small businesses, you could not be entering that space because those support groups out in our market for SBDC, they have evolved tremendously. And working with them, I can guarantee if you have a viable business opportunity, working with them is going to get you lender ready. Work with the SBA group as well. So before that was not the case. The boards and the CDCs of the world have been, working and trying to do the best they can, but to this day and age, in my opinion, they've got it totally fixed where they really truly help a small business person become lender ready. And even though if you don't have 2 years in your business, you still can get access to capital through other alternative finances, crowdfunding. There's a variety of other resource partners out there that provide small loans to early stage startup companies. The rest of the group look forward to talking to you later, or right now with any questions you all may have.
You have a question? You get a question now? You want to wait? Just give me a second. Okay.
okay, so before we take any questions from the audience, I just want to mention that my materials are upstairs, and I have a table where I have a flyer, for example, the SBA called Lender Match, which is an electronic matching service. You can go online, you can enter the details of the transaction that you're trying to get funded. And the SBA will match you to, we have over 5,000 lenders that participate on this program. And then you'll find a lender that has appetite for funding and wants to work with you. Very similar to eHarmony when we look to create a relationship. So at the same table, I have information also on the documentation that you need to have to be able to support your request to get a loan. And I also have a list of all the loan products that we have in the SBA at this time. So now, let's take those questions.
We have this gentleman here. They're looking to construct a building, a project. They don't understand the process. If in fact SBA does fund, lenders who are looking to build. How that works, they're in the dark. you can imagine. And they want to do it, they have a good concept, good team, the developer, the whole community folks, so they need direction.
So you want to take it? The first thing I suggest is, just like I mentioned earlier, is to talk with SCORE and CDC, because at CDC, what they'll do is they'll build an advisory council for you. They'll put together 4 or 5 professionals, and a couple of them will be in the construction trade, the construction finance. And they would actually act like the board of directors for 18 months. So you'd have this independent support group that you'd be meeting with every month. And they would give you all the support and knowledge and guidance that you would need to facilitate that process to get a construction. You guys are contractors? Developers. Yeah. So that's what I was saying. So there's the loan aspect of it too, but my opinion, again, that having been around lending a long time, is you gotta be prepared. And again, the resources to do that are, SCORE will have mentors that have construction, financing, development backgrounds as well. So those are the resources I have to seek out and interview them and find the right mix that you feel comfortable with.
And those services are free.
And yeah.
That's something that we can tap into services.
Involved with those two organizations. I'm on the board of SBC and I'm facilitator with SCORE. So.
Can we get your card? Oh, great.
So the first thing I want to make sure everyone's aware of is that Small Business Administration, specifically, those programs are for owner operators. Meaning if you are going to build a building and you're going to be making widgets or you're going to be selling widgets, those are the types of loans that Small Business Administration will do for a business. Generally speaking, I don't know what area you're in. Generally, you're in the actual vertical building of property, multifamily, single family, commercial buildings, and then you end up either selling those units or leasing them to tenants. Those two uses of funds would not qualify for an SBA loan. So you're going to be going down the traditional finance, commercial finance route. And the biggest thing I would recommend, and Joe's been doing this a long time as well, is that you need to come to your lender in advance with your equity, your background of showing this is something that you've done before within your group, how you have other projects work, maybe a feasibility study to show us that, hey, this area can support this type of development. If you have letters of intent or any type of pre-leases that you may have, if you're doing that pre-sales, anything you can do to show the lender that first, you know what you're talking about. You have what we call past performance and history of being able to develop this type of project. And you can get to the finish line because a construction project is the riskiest project a bank can take on. Because there's so many things outside of your control and my control as a lender that can go sideways on a construction project. So, all that being said, they're not easy to get done. I'm sure you realize that. What Phil said, generally speaking, the different agencies for SBDC, things like that, they tend to go ahead and do more with owner operators, but they may be able to give you some guidance. And then network with other lenders because I may not have the size that you need. You may need $15 million. I can't lend you $15 million. But I might know another lender that can lend you $15 million because they're looking for that property type, that construction. So think of lenders as your own little centers of influence. We all have books of business. We all have customers. We all have goals. We're small business owners in our own right. So tap into your current bank and say, hey, who do you know? This is my dream. This is my goal. This is what I'm trying to accomplish. How can you help me do that? And you'll be amazed how much knowledge your local branch manager, your small business banker, your commercial banker we'll be able to give you.
So to piggyback on what they said, we do have two products that can be used for the purpose that they have in mind. As long as it's owner occupied, 7A loan guarantee and the 504 loan program. But if you want more information, I can provide you with the specifics. My recommendation will be pick their brain while they're here. They are the experts. And then make sure that your business plan is as solid as possible, take all the conditions and all the potential situations that may affect you and include them so that they feel comfortable when they evaluate. And if they do, and you qualify for the SBA, since they both work for the SBA lenders, they might be able to put you in for an SBA loan guarantee, either a 7A or a 504. Do the 504, they probably work with a certified loan company that they know that they can get you connected so that you can do the transaction that you're looking for. Do we have any other questions in the room?
My question is for the SBA. So you mentioned that you are able to certify minorities, veterans, and women only. What's happening in our government, in our nation right now? How is that going to change? And if it changes, what will be substituting it?
So thank you for the question. Very good question. My crystal ball cannot see too well into the future because, as you know, a lot of the plans that Washington is making there are not fully formed yet. So today, all the programs remain as they were before. There are no major changes, so there's a lot of opportunities for companies that become certified to pursue opportunities. I know that we are trying to save money by consolidating certain things. For example, subcontracting actions are going to move to GSA, but the appetite of the government still will remain there. A lot of opportunities. If the government has a need for a specific product or service, the contract will end up being published and you'll be able to compete. It's just that it might not be through the typical agency, but it might go through GSA. So that's something that we have a relationship with one of the partners locally, if you're in Orlando or Florida. It's called the Apex Accelerator. And they help individuals to do marketing. They can identify the agencies that have an appetite for selling. They also can help individuals that want to get certified. Listed correctly, they can make their application so that the SBA can process them and bring them into the program. As I mentioned, we can certify as an 8A business development company, which opens the door for socially and economically disadvantaged individuals. We can certify companies that are in a historically underutilized business zone, hub zone. Women, economically disadvantaged women, small businesses, and veterans and services. All of the certification programs are limited to U.S. citizens. So if you are or know someone that is not a U.S. citizen at this time, they cannot be certified, but they can still compete as a small business. Category for small business participation, we have metrics. Steve mentioned 23% of all the contract dollars go to small business. And if you are a U.S. citizen or not, if you have a product, we have an appetite, we will find a way to connect and buy from you. Now, if you want to become certified, the law says that you have to be a U.S. citizen because in the past, we have been audited by accountability office. And there's a perception that the benefits of certification are going to individuals that are not entitled. That's why we have that language that Congress has given us to prevent individuals from becoming certified. But there's opportunities. The individual that is not a U.S. citizen that has a green card, maybe they can get into a joint venture. That's something that we also teach as well. So that opens the door. There's a whole world of opportunities. Just that the individuals need to look at creating a partnership so they can grow the company. But yes, so far, nothing is going to change. So when we speak next week, nothing is going to change. Any more questions? Have they closed? No, they're still open. We picture on our daily internal bulletin, and I see that they're very active participating in events. So,
Because I went over there.
was it an employee or?
And so they're in the Plaza
No,
where they.
they're in Costa de Leon. There used to be a 252, but I think they're across the way. Yes,
You asked about the mining op?
no, the Puerto Rico office. Puerto Rico office. They're there. I know the director took the job and he went back to become the director for the governor. of Puerto Rico. No, he's with the governor of Puerto Rico. Yes, Secretary of Agriculture. So, but the office is still open. We have people there and they want to help them. So if you have, if you need their number, just get in touch with me and I'll be glad to. Yes. So for the lenders, what's your ideal credit score profile that you're looking for when you receive a package? And how important is it for you to have a package that may have been put together by an owner with assistance from a resource partner instead of using ChatGPT?
Well, yes, it's very much more beneficial if you come through one of the resource partners that are, like we mentioned earlier, because we know the quality of work that they can help you prepare. So, that's really the best you can use with resources around the free and plentiful. So they will definitely get you ready if you do have a product or service that is viable for the market. As far as credit score goes, I mean, credit obviously is important because personal credit score is an indication of how you handle credit. And it's probably going to be consistent with how you're going to handle your credit from a commercial standpoint as well. But we don't mark on a score. I mean, probably in general, as long as you're over 600. But we know what happened in 2008. There's very, very many people that got hurt by the recession. So we take that in consideration. We took that into consideration more so back in the teens, 2013, 14, 15, when people had to do regulatory credit. We didn't hold that against them. We analyzed their credit score before, how they handled their credit. I don't want to say we discounted it, but as long as it made sense and they got caught in the vicious cycle of what Wall Street did to us all, we would take that into consideration. So particularly back then, the score didn't really matter that much. We just had, you look at the credit report, you analyze, make sure you handle your credit properly, including that period of time. And even now, there's going to be isolated situations with healthcare companies or employees for not processing your payments or administering your bills appropriately. So we'll definitely take those into consideration as well. But I mean, I don't know if you're different CEO, we don't have a specific number that if you're under it, you won't qualify. If you're over it, you will. I mean, I just think again, if you're in the 600s, you're probably fine, and we just will evaluate if you have credit personally.
When you come talk to a lender, hopefully you know what your credit score is before we even take a look at it. There should be a moment, a aha moment that says, really? My credit score is 610? Hopefully you use some free tools that are out there, Credit Karma or things like that, be able to check your credit score. More importantly, the score is a proxy for your activity. And the reason why look at the score is because it does tell us if you have a bunch of late payments, and then you come to me and you want me to give you more money, I'm looking at this and saying you can't pay him up. You borrow money from me. So if there's a story behind why your credit score is low, just be upfront with us. we're going to see it, we want to pull it. So help us, help you get the money you need, and don't try to hide it. Just come up front. Hey, unfortunately, my spouse got really, really sick and had to step away from his or her job for this period of time. We're a single family trying to run all this stuff on one day, and we just got caught behind. But since that time, now explain to me what you've done more, better, different to get yourself out of that situation and to make sure it doesn't happen again. Since that time, we've gone ahead and paid off every one of our credit card bills that we fell behind on. We still keep them open. It's at zero balance. Much money saved up in the savings account because I need a rainy day fund. That's much more impactful to us in the lending community than what your credit score. Tell us what happened, tell us what you learned from it, why we feel like it's going to be a good risk lending you this money. Because that's all we do up here as lenders. Our job is risk. Every one of you has certain things, whether it's your industry, whether it's your product, whether it's your payables or receivables, what have you. Every one of you are different. Every one of you are unique. Our job is to understand what you bring to the table, where there could be possibilities of risk, and how do we mitigate that risk. That's all we do. If you think of it like that, you'll be much better prepared for when you go to see a lender to be lender ready.
Thank you. And I get asked this question all the time. I get clients that come to me and say, hey, I'm a great cook. All my wife says that I'm a great cook. I want to open a restaurant. So the question to my panel is, how do you overcome the lack of experience, and how do you convince the credit committees to trust you and give you the money that you're looking for? I see Bill smiling, so you want to say it?
Cecilia.
And you just made probably the most risky scenario that we would look at. Thinks they have a good idea. And, again, I'm going to be the dead horse here, but I would want to know what your experience is as a restaurant owner, which is and that's great. You sell delicious food, but what components do you have currently that can help you get to that level of opening up a restaurant? Restaurants are the riskiest business. Construction is as well, but really restaurants are just because of the nature of the industry. There's a lot of waste and thievery that can go on. I grew up in the restaurant industry, so I'm very familiar with it, but times have changed. There's much better controls and financial risk than there were back then, but still that risk exists. Managing the restaurant, there's a lot of turnover with people. So really, for us to get comfortable with somebody that's opening a restaurant, first of all, if you've never had a restaurant, you're not going to get money until you find your own capital. I don't know, Steve, if you have anything to add to that, but that's the toughest one. Particularly here in Central Florida, the competition is just tremendous. We have a lot of great restaurants here. It would be a very difficult market. I mean, if I was, and I love restaurants, and again, that's my background, I love other restaurants. Being here would be difficult. I mean, you got to supply people, no doubt, but you also have competition. So how to navigate that competition and differentiate yourself would be the first thought. You got to, how are you going to differentiate yourself against the competition? Prices compare, things like that. There's a lot of components to that type of business model that a lot of times you're not even going to know until 2 or 3 years after. So that's why we're probably not going to have a whole lot of interest day one. Maybe a year or two after the operation, we can again have something to manage. We can look at that risk because you've experienced it and you can show us some history of operating a business and mitigate those areas that we see that could be high risk areas. But it would be a difficult one to manage from the opening.
So there goes my idea of opening a Mr. Empanada. But yeah, the next question is, but doesn't that franchise lower that risk? So, Steve, coming up.
Yeah, so let's say that you do have the best recipe out there for chocolate chip cookies, pizza, sandwiches, whatever it's going to be. Okay. How do you get it done? Well, as I just alluded to, there's a couple different ways. You can buy an existing business. Okay? So you have magic sauce to be able to make the best whatever it is. You have an existing business, and maybe they're looking to retire, maybe they're looking to move out of state, or even just go ahead and get into a different industry. Okay. You can work out an agreement with that owner to shadow them while you go through what's called essentially due diligence time, where you'll be able to help learn the trade. Maybe in your agreement, you'll have them stay on board for a certain amount. And so this existing business does have what we call that past performance. You can see how they've been able to manage their finances. Okay. If you take that and you incorporate that into your own business plan and into your own projection, you have a base year from the seller, and then you have a new, more, better, different scenario with you as the owner. We can get our heads wrapped around that. So you're not going to be taking everything from scratch. You're going to use their pizza dough, their, but you're going to take the sauce. And sauce is the magic. And so we can take that, take the old stuff, and be able to get to a place where we may be able to get comfortable. Also, if you do a franchise situation, the franchisor, the parent company that started up the business, already came up with the sauce. Playbook. They already have all of these procedures. Everything you need as a business owner, because you don't know what you don't know, they're giving it to you. And so if they have done it successfully as franchisors, and they have this many units, meaning other franchisees that they've sold locations to, and they've done it successfully, we as the lending community feel more comfortable with that risk because it's replicatable. Someone could do the sauce, do the things that are in the book, and be able to be successful. Above all, whenever you have risk, you as a business owner have to look within yourself and say, how do I mitigate that risk? So at the end of the day, if you're looking to borrow a little and you have a lot of collateral, that is always a very positive thing because you're putting your money where your mouth is. You're stepping up and taking a partner with us as a lending community and say, I want you to take all the risk. I'm going to share in this risk. If you have a family or a friend or a family member, a partner, maybe they have outside income separate from the business, and they're willing to step up with you and say, I believe in you. I will go ahead and add my guarantee to this business. I may want equity, I may want debt, whatever the arrangement may be. I'm going to be able to show you I make my money from this two job, and doctors are infamous for this. I make good money over here as a doctor. I will go ahead and step up for you, Mr. Business owner, that needs some help to mitigate your risk and your stuff. So those are a couple different ways that even in the restaurant community, in the bar community, I actually do have quite a bit of restaurant and bar in my bank, but there's certain niches that we go into. We do a lot of liquor license lending. Very, very secure. There's only a certain amount of them here in Orange County, for example, and we know exactly how much they're worth when they go. So we can manage that risk to participate with the business owner to get them a liquor license. Students may not like that type of money. That's why you need to network and find the resources to be able to say, this is the right lending partner for you.
How much is our license?
So generally speaking, in Orange County, I've seen them go up to about $50,000 for COP liquor license. In Orange County, some counties a little bit less. I think Osceola is a little bit less. Orange County, because they have that they can allow at any given time. Yep.
So do we have any other questions in the room? Do we have any other questions in the room? Okay, if not, I want to thank the panel for stepping up to the line today and giving us the great advice. I hope that you continue to look at SBA. We're the elephant in the room. This morning, everybody talked about the program, but they didn't mention that the federal cousin is there to help everyone, regardless of race, gender, religion, location, etc. Here to help you. I'm in downtown, I'm in the federal building, I'm in the back property board, I'm not in the back property. So, not yet, but, my card is up there, Luis has my contact information, and I can get you in touch with any of the lenders that are participating here today. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the first nice applause for everybody. We have a director.
And he just reminded me that my boss is here, along with Tina Davis, so sitting in the back of the room, and that please. They want to tell you a lot of money, so they're ready to handle some loans.
And I want to take this opportunity to have everyone here for the committee, the Puerto Rican Summit. It is the Puerto Rican Summit, but at the end of the day, we're all Americans, right? All right. We all love. So I want to say you. Thank you for your excellent presentation, by the way. But these guys, agree. They need the help of the business planning. And I want to give you well. So say you don't have to send you here. So I just want to say, before we have the raffle, who's here? I don't believe that. Well, anyway, I want to say that SBA has been very good in terms of partnership with the Puerto Rican Summit. Webinar going on, that mutual. Then we make sure we get this cooperation. Not cooperation, sorry, leadership. You know your way, right? We want to do another one, but we want to connect also with people. The same information. And so we'll be able to please don't take it with you. Don't take it with you. Share it with us. All right, thank you. Now we're going to have a. Give a nice applause to each other. I'm going to name them. Good to go. We have a raffle. Go home. Right? Who's time to go home? You got to say it.
Oye, muchas felicidades, se queda recién entonces en ese caso, ¿verdad? No. Ay, bendito, es que yo en las redes sociales veo, pues me disculpa, es que...
Ellos dieron estábamos aquí en un